Here are two great options when you're looking for a portable external battery for your brand new Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro. Iniu power banks feature fast charging and large capacities for when you can't get to a main supply to charge your phone. Even with the improved battery specifications for the new Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro, there are often times I'm unable to find a convenient place to charge my phone. I'm often on a road trip with the family and won't have a chance to use a main supply. My dwindling battery percentage inspires anxiety as I watch it trickle away, especially when I'm using my phone for navigation and streaming music in the car at the same time. I've traditionally turned to the help of a power bank as an external battery when low on juice. But as our phones become ever more sophisticated, especially with fast charging and much bigger capacities, my venerable USB-A 2.0 power bank isn't up to the job anymore. With that in mind, I turned my attention to finding a more up-to-date replacement with two major criteria. It had to have a USB-C output and support fast charging with PD 3.0 PPS, or Programmable Power Supply, a feature which I talk about more later. Searching Amazon turned up the Iniu power bank brand. My wife also needed one, so I chose two different versions. Both had impressive 4.5-star ratings from hundreds of reviews, and the larger version was tagged as Amazon's choice. First impressions of both devices are solid and finished in a nice matte soft-touch plastic finish. The BI-B5 is significantly heavier, which was surprising despite the fact I knew in advance that it was double the capacity of the BI-B6. The power banks also come with net travel bags and a USB-A to USB-C cable. One really nice upgrade from my old power bank is that there is a simple digital display that tells you how much charge is left in normal use and also how much more charge is needed when recharging it. When it comes to the features, I'm really only interested in the capacity and how fast I can charge my phone. Also, I've learned through experience that having a USB-C compatible output was key. In an unfortunate turn of events in our most recent road trip, we lost the one cable that we had that was USB-A to USB-C compatible. The cables that come with our Pixel phones were USB-C to USB-C, leaving us with no way to top up our devices while on the road. With the USB-C connection natively supported by the Iniu power banks, it means that we can always resort to using our original phone cables to connect and charge our phones. And as it turned out, there's a significant benefit of using the original Pixel charging cables, which I'll go over in more detail shortly. Even as a technology enthusiast, I have a limited understanding of the engineering that goes into making power banks. My perspective is very much as a consumer. With that in mind, my review of both devices is very much rooted in my expectations of the final experience, rather than the details behind the technology. Having said that, in researching what to buy, there was one feature that was consistently mentioned in Pixel community groups as important for the latest generation of phones. The Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro are both compatible with USB Power Delivery 3.0 PPS, or Programmable Power Supply charging. It's the most advanced charging technology available and modifies the voltage and current in real time, depending on the device's charging status, to ensure maximum power delivery. Specifically, PPS is achieved over USB-C, and most power banks in the same price range only offer slower USB-A power delivery. Also worth noting is there are a number of similar power banks that offer USB-C input to recharge the battery, but can only deliver output via the USB-A cables. The included cable with the two power banks is USB-A to USB-C. To get the most out of your power banks for fast charging, you'll need not only USB-C to USB-C cables, but also good quality cables, which ideally means using your original cable that came with your phone. To that end, out of the many different options, the Iniu power banks met the criteria I had at the sub $50 Canadian price point. When it came to testing the Iniu power banks, I purposely drained my Pixel 6 Pro to 0%. Then I recharged my phone using my Pixel charging cable connected to the USB-C port. The charge starts automatically, and to maximise performance I kept the screen off, only turning it on periodically to check on the charge status. The end result was both surprisingly good and a little bit disappointing at the same time. First of all, it was great to see the phone charge rapidly as advertised by Iniu. Also, in a surprising turn of events, the BI-B5 power bank actually outperformed the estimated advertised charge time on the official Google brick using a main supply. The larger BI-B5 power bank managed 89% charge after 1 hour, whereas I was expecting it to be lower than the 80% charge Google has suggested with a mains connected power supply. Admittedly, my test used less than scientific methodology, as I may have had fewer background features turned on compared to Google's own testing. However, as an average consumer, I'm happy that the performance was better than expected. The less happy news from my test was that to achieve the above results, the Iniu power bank actually consumed more power than I was expecting. With a 20,000 mAh capacity, I was expecting I should be able to achieve at best almost 4 complete charges of my Pixel 6 Pro, with a 5000 mAh battery. What I actually found was that the Iniu had consumed 39% of the available capacity for one full charge. That would leave me enough power to charge my Pixel 6 Pro a little over one more time. I performed the same test with the smaller BI-B6 power bank and had slightly different results, with 40% after 30 minutes and 78% after 1 hour. That gave me 100% full charge at 1 hour 58 minutes. Again, because it's not a scientific approach to the test, the variation in performance really isn't something to linger on. The most important piece of data is that, like its big brother, the BI-B6 also achieves a full charge at around 2 hours, but with less than the expected remaining charge of the 10,000 mAh capacity, feeding a 5000 mAh phone battery. To be fair to Iniu, I have two caveats. The first is that discharging their battery is not necessarily a linear power exchange. I'm not an electrical engineer, so it's very possible there is no direct correlation between output and input into another's device. In fact, if I'm realistic, it would probably be a miracle to find the transfer of energy would be completely efficient and lossless. The simple process of operating the power bank could use up some of the available energy. The other caveat is that my phone was not switched off during the BI-B5 test. While charging, the phone was still running processes, even in standby mode. There's a very good chance the phone was drawing down more power to charge and also keep those processes running quietly in the background. So with all things considered, it's a little disappointing not to see the remaining charge be a little higher, but without really digging into the science and also performing some comparison tests with other brands of power banks, it would be unfair to say these results are typical. My final note on the BI-B5 and BI-B6 power banks is that ultimately they do what I want them to do. They charge as well as if I were to plug them into a wall socket with an official Pixel 6 power supply, but with the necessary convenience of being portable. As a bonus, they are nicely designed from both a tactile point of view and an aesthetic perspective. The accessories are both useful and also practical, which lend themselves well to their intended purpose, which is to keep your phone powered up while on the go. Thank you for watching, and as ever, it would be great if you were to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content on personal technology and the connected home.